My name is Chris Cooper, and this is the state of the fitness industry. So let's talk about the effect of COVID on the industry. The average length of a shutdown worldwide across these 6,000 gyms was 91 days. Some were less, some were more. And with the second and third shutdowns now hitting, some of these gyms are going to go 6 months without being able to open a bricks and mortar facility. Of course, they can still coach, they can deliver the service online. But a lot of gyms aren't making that pivot. 60% of respondents said that they saw competitors go out of business. 57% of owners reported taking a pay cut. The owners of a profitable gym were way less likely to take a pay cut because there's a buffer there, right? Like they didn't have to feed themselves out of the till. The most affected segment was the strength and conditioning facilities. So these are the people with the most hands-on, one-on-one training athletes in and out of season. 76% of their owners took a pay cut. CrossFit, 54% of owners took a pay cut during COVID, the first shutdown. 18% of owners had to fire staff. I think that's really remarkable that only 18% had to let staff go, especially because a lot of states and countries were offering incentives for people to just stay home. Martial arts, 50% had to let staff go. That's very interesting. And 18% of CrossFit gyms laid off staff or let them go. During the shutdown, though, 44% of owners took out some kind of loan. This could have been an SBA loan in the States. It could have been a bank loan. It could have been something else. 75% of martial arts gyms had to take out a loan. And again, they're probably the biggest spaces that really pack people into classes. Personal trainers, only 32% had to take out a loan. You know, the inverse of martial arts, smaller spaces, lower rent probably. And 43% of CrossFit gyms took out a loan. 35% of owners use personal funds to support their business. Now, there are some in the survey who used their personal funds until they went dry and then they took out a loan, or they took out a loan, used that up, and then dipped into their personal funds. And that's a shame, but a lot of people did it. CrossFit, 29% of those gyms had to dip into personal funds. Martial arts, though, 75%, really hard hit. If we looked at effective hourly rates, so earlier I said that this is a good measure of how you're using your time as an entrepreneur. If we look at people with high effective hourly rates, we find that only 38% of those people had to take a pay cut. And that's because those people are mostly not working in the business. They're working on the business. They're doing sales and marketing. And so when they had to pivot, they kept their businesses profitable. Conversely, the owners who are only paying themselves $0 to $12 an hour to working in their gym, they're so close to the line that 68% of those people had to take a pay cut. That's super scary because if you're only making 12 bucks an hour for the time that you're working, you probably don't have much of a buffer in the bank. And so taking a cut means that you're probably starving. This was me, in 2009. What prompted me to get a mentor was that I had missed 2 paychecks in a row. And that meant my family wasn't buying groceries. There was no reserve to dip into. There were no credit cards that I hadn't yet signed and used. We were out of money. And I'm afraid that a lot of the owners who aren't paying themselves, who don't have a valuable gym, who don't have a profit, don't have a reserve, they don't have any choice but to close because of this. Now, CrossFit is an important topic in 2020. Nearly 17% of CrossFit related businesses in our survey have de-affiliated since the beginning of 2020. But 90.4% of owners who reported participating in the CrossFit Games Open last year say they will participate in 2021. Just over 18.5% of businesses that did not participate in the last Open plan to participate in 2021. So here's what that tells me: that the gyms who are de-affiliating from CrossFit don't want to put the CrossFit name on their gym. That doesn't mean that they don't believe in the methodology anymore. They don't believe in the community. They still want to be part of the movement. They still want to participate in the open. They still want to do CrossFit-like things, but they don't want to fly the brand on their gym. That's me. I'm not going to throw out the method, throw out the thing that's made me successful just because I don't want to use the name anymore. I am still a CrossFit affiliate. I don't have the label on my gym. I'm still certified. My staff still gets certified because we believe in the method. But the brand stopped bringing us value long ago. During 2020, we believed that it was bringing us a negative value. And when that improves, when that increases and we start to see value, then we'll rebrand ourselves as CrossFit again. While we are working on the inside of CrossFit to help try and make that better, and we work with hundreds of CrossFit gyms around the world, and we're proud to do that. We're proud of them. Um, for my specific location right now, I want to help make the brand better before we put it on our billboard again. This is a deeply personalized decision that everybody has to go through on their own. In my case, there was a personal issue with leadership staff at HQ before Eric Rosa took over that hopefully will be resolved even before you hear this. So I'm optimistic. Owners of companies that are profitable are more likely to be confident in the future of the CrossFit brand. So 69.4% of owners of profitable businesses are confident in the brand versus only 53% of unprofitable owners. So that's really interesting.